back here from the wash. I didn't intend to make any content tonight, so I didn't bring my gimbal or my microphone. Hindsight being 2020, probably should have, but it's not that windy out here and it's fairly quiet. So this is just gonna be a short video. I'm gonna put a couple of clips, probably inlaid like right here. I am working on expanding the vending. We have the vending machine out front that I've been doing some work on. I'll take some shots of later on. But I am making these vending stanchions for out here at the vacuums. Based on an idea that I saw at one of the, actually it was the Clean Right show I went to back last November, that something J.E. Adams makes where they tie them into the vacuums. I'm like, I don't need a vacuum, everything combined, but it would be nice to have some point of sale vending out here. And while I don't have power out here, and I have, well, not really maybe I do have power. I could get over if I wanted to, but at least for right now, I'm just going to use some of the Laurel 600 or Laurel 300 mechanical vendors that I've had since before I bought the car wash, actually, because there were 4 of them I found on Marketplace back when I knew I was going to start this venture that I went and bought in Virginia, before I even had kind of started moving along on this, just to have, because I got a really good deal on them and clean them up. So that being said, I'm going to switch the camera around here to the front view and kind of show you what I have done so far. And this is one of those things that I'm testing, and if it works, I'm going to add a couple more out here because I've got like 10 of these vending machines, and if it doesn't work, then I'm not really out that much money. So here we go. We're back in the back near where the vacuums are right now, vacuum podiums. So what I'm doing in the middle is I took where I had one of my no parking signs, and I put this 4x4 in the ground. It's in the ground using Sika Postfix. I'm not too happy with how hard it seemed to have set up, so I may end up digging out and concreting around that. But these are what the vendors look like. They're mechanical. I gotta take that old sticker off the side I tried to burn off. I put new labels on them. I'm gonna have wet towels for windshields in this, 75 cents a pop. It's what I sell them for. It's actually a little under what Clean Right suggests, but I buy them in such bulk. I'm not looking to make huge money off of them. I still make 50 cents or so a pop off of them, but they're convenient for people right here. And I'm going to see how some of these cheaper items sell out here before I start putting anything more expensive out here, because these are quarter only machines. So what I'm doing is, rather than using the $300 kit from J.E. Adams to mount these, which is literally what I have here, except for they cantilever off to one side, I have on this 4x4 just a simple U-bolt. This is just Unistrut, light duty Unistrut. Since it's being loaded vertically, I'm not concerned about the thickness of it. The more weight that's on this, the more strength the entire thing is going to have. So, they're through bolted in the rear. It's not straight right now. I got to level it, but they're through bolted in the rear, and then I'm going to mangle these to where somebody can't unbolt them. I've mentioned before, we're in a low crime area here. This may not work for a wash in an area where people try to steal things. The biggest thing I have to worry about are people from the thrift shop behind me parking in my parking lot. So, that's nice problems to have. I'm going to get to it, hanging these things up. There's not much to it. It's literally some bolts through the back and running through there. Same thing, got to mangle the ends so no one takes them off. And I'll get some posts later on, or get some video later on once I've got it. So the other thing I'm going to be doing is, after these are hung up, I'm putting my no parking sign back down here. I got to screw that in so I can enforce that. And I'm thinking I might do a light or something on, not even a light, I don't know. I might do something on top of this. I looked at doing the plastic post covers to go over it, and honestly, not really worried about it for out here. But what I might end up doing is painting this the bright yellow, like the building trim, to stand out. But for right now, it's going to at least stay natural. This is ground contact rated timber, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, I'm going to get working on this, and I will start an update once I've got a little more done. All right, I'm back. So I didn't take video while I was doing this because I did it by myself and it was a bit of a challenge at times cantilevering. So what we have are the two vending machines. Now I recognize they are not straight. They will be fixed tomorrow. I am calling it for the night. I need to do some work up here to level them out. And I also have to cut off and kind of fix some of these bolts so people can't try and take them out. Not that they would. But there we go. We've got our wet towels on the right. The one on the left is going to be my own drying towels. These vending machines are fairly simple. They call them a drop shelf. And they have these shelves. And I don't have any coins. Are there coins? No. So, you're a little bit... You can't be nice to them. But you put one product per shelf. And then you put your coins in. They fall down through into the little bin here. And when you pull this, it pulls an internal mechanism that, in turn, causes... Here, I can actually demonstrate for you. Hopefully. Well, not really. Okay, but you have to trust me on this. Oh, there we are. No, whatever. It causes one of these shelves to fall one at a time, and your product falls in this slot right here. That's really all there is to it. Now, this one's a little more rough, but it's okay. I'm going to polish it up some more. Yeah, so... That's where we're at with that vending machine. And then I'll show a little second clip here of some of the mods that I have done to the other vending machine. All right, so rounding things out here, we have the main vending machine. So here's one of the old Laurel vendors. This one has this unique issue where it will randomly decide that it wants to give free stuff out. I need to redo the acceptor in it. I just haven't had time. But I'm going to zoom out here. The vending machine, a little bit different than what has been. So I replaced the LED lighting that was in it with these Govee strip lights. They're RGB IC. They're individually controllable. As you see, I've got them set for chasing right now, as well as this sign. Looks like it actually might be recording it fairly well. It's just a simple, it's actually the same one, the updated version of the one that I have in the van, in the window. But I can do advertisements, as you see right here for the website, or, various things. It's all app controlled. They're like $30. They're actually really neat. There's just a power strip in the bottom that's powering it via USB. I did lose a little bit of lighting in terms of you can still see what's in here, see the prices, still read things by the flashing. I may put one of the white ones in the top. I don't know. I've got the white one up there still, actually, and I might just power it up to see how it looks. But trying to expand some things. Another thing, so B5, which is where the camera is, there's a ring camera you can see in there. B5 is dead. The motor and the coils are dead. And this vending machine is not the greatest brand. And for parts, I've been able to find certain things, like I had to rebuild the keypad. I'm going to get a new screen because this is not visible during the day. It's vacuum fluorescent and it's dead. And as you see right now, I've never even programmed it because it's useless, because I have the NIAX reader saying, doing the demo messages and stuff. But that said, this center one here I thought was dead as well, and actually it's my own fault. The wire, the USB for the camera has snagged, and it unplugged one of the motors. I just have to fix it. That's great. Self-diagnosis. And I did get rid of a shelf that I wasn't using to have a shelf for some taller items. Sometimes the gloves will flip up and not serve very well. These Never Fog packets, which are the same size that are the Just for Leather, as you see, they slide out. I need to fix that. There's a trim rail that goes along where you see my printed labels. And that trim rail, actually, you can see where it's kind of cracked over here and broken. Well, this one down here and this one melted this summer. And I actually had a leather packet. I'm pretty certain it caught fire from the glass, from the direct sun out here. So I've got to do something about that. Tint this or whatever next year. We're fine now, being cooler. But certain things like the Armor All tire I got to fix that because they roll over, but trying to get those to, feed properly can be a pain. So like I said, I'm learning, working with what I have here for this vending machine. It's not the greatest, but it's getting the job done for now. So projects for tomorrow, I need to finish putting my signs on those vending stanchions. I am going to be cutting this post out of the ground. I'm going to have to use the cutoff grinder for that, as well as that post that's over there. This is getting painted yellow. It may or may not happen tomorrow. I'm going to do something with this can situation. And the other thing I'm doing, just for a little bit of pizzazz, is this side of the vending machine. Actually, the whole vending machine I'm going to paint. I don't like the black. I'm going to be painting the side of it yellow to match the building. Maybe. I might do the green. I don't know. I have both. And then the yellow trim out on the front, on the door. I want to do something other than this faded black that it is. It's got a few years life left in it if I end up keeping it and not replacing it with something better eventually. But I paid $900 for it on Marketplace a year ago. So I'm not mad at it at this point, other than some of the parts are hideously expensive. But half the value in that is it's a $300 MEI Talos bill acceptor that's in here that was brand new, and the NIAX reader was already installed on it. So realistically, that's $400 to buy one. So $400, $300, $700. I basically, $200 more. I got a whole vending machine for what parts would be to refurb some of the other ones to update things. So I'm not mad at it. I think I'm going to take this down. One of the other additions I'm thinking about doing, and I need to take some measurements, either on the door or probably right here. I don't want to junk the front of the place up, but I'm thinking about putting an announcements board right here. There are holes in the brick. You can actually see into the pump room right now where the vending machines used to exist here. I think I want to get like one of the bulletin boards with a cover that locks and do an announcements board for here. That way I can have things like my follow us signs, things like that here, not attached to the equipment. This Hamilton bill acceptor is going to be the death of me. I had it built. It was like $4,000. It is the model that fits in here, and it is great. However, it is cranky. The controller on it will just decide that it wants to stop dispensing money sometimes, and it needs to be rebooted. This also has an MEI Talos. I had a good bill acceptor put in it, and it's been a great one from the perspective of it. It's fast and it's fairly accurate, but it gets kind of cranky when it's really, really wet, and it doesn't like moist money. None of them do, but it's a little more cranky than it should be. I just did an intensive cleaning on it the other day, which hopefully will solve some of the issues. So walking right now because there's a restaurant nearby and they are getting busy, and I am thinking, okay, no illegal parking yet, but it happens. New parking lot lights I had put in, very bright back here, makes it very nice for customers. I'm really pleased about that. I had a wall pack up here that was fritzing out that finally died. I'm going to get a new one off Amazon and replace it. I just want to get up there with a ladder and find out exactly what it is so I can get something comparable so I don't have the bays looking unbalanced. One other thing, this is an old, the same coin acceptor out front. This is the old version of it. This is just a shell of a machine. There's nothing in it. And it was gutted before I got this place. There was one just like this on the front. And that's the one I ripped out in an earlier video. You saw me toss unceremoniously in the parking lot. I'm hesitant. I want to put another one back here because I see a lot of people walking up to it, even though I have a sign. And there's another sign that says another bill exchanger on the other side. But sometimes people walk up to it and it's like, really? So now that I have credit card on everything here, I'm a little less inclined to put another one in. I'm still watching Marketplace, things like that, for another Hamilton RNS, like the one up front. Or they make one that's like a half, that's like, it has half the capacity. I don't need a big one, but do something back here to fill in that space with something useful. But yeah, so there's the vending stanchion. And I think I'm going to go in, clean up, and call it a night. It is a Friday. I've done what I want to do. It was actually didn't take as long as I expected, other than I had a conversation with somebody for a few minutes that slowed things down, but that's fine. It was, I don't mind. I don't need to be running around breakneck speed. So yeah, I'm going to go home and strip out of my British, either roadside assistance worker or with a builder, British builder gear, my pants and shirt. But at this point, there's enough traffic out here of people running in and out that in the night, I wear high-vis gear. I don't care if it makes it look ridiculous. But I'm going to try to make sure that I'm not, a victim in my own parking lot. Another thing that's unfortunate, my diesel heater, the power supply on it apparently died over... Okay, I see a leak. I'm not upset, but I'm also not going to fix it tonight. It's soap. It isn't a big deal. I'm listening, I hear water. Oh, it's foam. Okay, sorry. Hi, squirrel. I got a new power supply for that. That's not a big deal. Or replace the whole damn thing. It's plumbed into the wall, so... not plumbed in, but the exhaust goes through the wall. So I need to go with something similar, but they're all Chinese knockoffs. So if I have to do it, that's not a big deal. Yeah, so I am going to call it here and come back tomorrow. And I think maybe tomorrow, depending on how I feel, I might make it a content day. I'm going to figure out what it is I'm doing exactly. Now, tomorrow at 5 p.m.-ish, we're closing down until Monday at 8 a.m. because I am having parking lot work done, having parking lot sealed. So I gotta go home and look and figure out what it is I need to do and what it is I can do. Because I got a lot of winter prep to do, and I don't really have an excuse to not be here and working, because I've had enough time off recently from here and from everything. So I will probably try and get this up tonight. We'll see. And I got some ideas. I got some stuff I need to do in here. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Productivity will be tomorrow. I'll take some video. I'll bring the gimbal. I'll have everything moving around. It'll be following me in here as I hang precariously from a ladder and try not to break my neck. Have a great night. See everybody then. All right. Well, I know I said I'd wrap this up, but it felt incomplete. It's a new day, if you can't tell. I have the gimbal with me, but I don't have it out here. I'm not wasn't planning on taking a video, but I did get everything finished and wanted to make sure we had video evidence of it. Essentially, and I'll switch around in a minute, got the wet towel vendor. Everything is working great with it. This one fought me because the internal, I had to swap the acceptor in it, and the one that was in it, the coin ramp wasn't lined. I thought I was going to try and fix things. I went and got another one. It didn't work, so I got pissed and went after this one with a hammer and a pair of pliers and made the coin ramp wider, and it works. So we're going to call that a win. And then I did get the signs, all my signage for towing and everything put on here. It's kind of low, but as far as I'm concerned, if you pull up here and you're devoid of common sense, the signs are for me and my protection when I get you towed versus you would be able to see, because if you park anywhere in here because you're going to the thrift store or a restaurant or whatever, and you don't realize that this is part of another business, maybe you shouldn't have a driver's license. Those words of wisdom. Everybody have a great day.